Okay, this is a short video about a lie that we're told about correlations and diversification across sectors in the stock market. We had another video recently where we talked about different types of ways to diversify yourself in the stock market. And I talked about different stock sectors. I talked about different ways to think about valuation as a parameter for diversification, some other metrics for ways to think about diversification. In a way, though, there's certain times when all of that goes out the window and all stocks become correlated. The correlation goes to 1, and that's when there's a big crash. Whenever there's a major crash or some of the worst whoosh down days of like a slow motion market correction, what happens is correlations start to converge. All assets start to act the same and they all sell down. And so sometimes diversification can be helpful, but there are times where it all just goes out the window and everything goes down and it makes no sense. And so you want to make sure that you don't get lulled into a sense, like an excessive sense of security because you are diversified, quote unquote. The stock market just carries its own systemic risks. And it's been 11 years now since we've had a genuine market crash, 12 years. And so we have kind of a generation of investors that have never really seen a crash. They don't really maybe have context for what happened in the great financial crisis. So you being in the market with those kinds of investors who are in bed with you, you want to make sure you're aware that you're invested alongside a lot of people that may overreact with the next correction and may get thrown when their ideas of diversification don't play out when certain bad events happen. So keep that in mind. Remember that when there's a correction, when there's a crash, correlations start to approach 1. All stocks tend to go down together, and the usual rules of diversification start to not apply. They're true most of the time, but when it really, really matters, they're actually not true. So I want to make sure that you know about that and are ready if a crash happens. I don't know when there might be one, but most assuredly someday there will be. So know that this is a phenomenon that can happen in a lot of the regular rules of gravity, rules of diversification, rules of correlation. They go out the window at these times. All right? Thanks as always for watching, and I hope these videos are helpful.